Hello. Please tell us who you are and what did you get in the last regional?
Yep, hi, I'm Nalin and I got 6th place at the Esher regional last Saturday, playing Odion Argostars.
Congratulations. And here we are for Nalin's deck profile. Show us what you get.
Yep, so without further ado, let's start. We'll start by playing the main starter, Man with the Mark. It gets everything going. Very important. Always play 3 of. Then to add more consistency, play 3 Anubis. I do want to also mention that Anubis has the effect where not only you send to graveyard to search Man with the Mark, which will search Temple of the Kings and spells that mentioned it. It also has the hidden effect where if you control 3 different trap cards, or a Temple of the Kings included, you shuffle 2 with different things to the bottom of the deck to special summon it, and it's not once per turn.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep, it comes up a lot and it helps you make strong pushes. And then the last monster for the Odion line is Maliss Scorpion. This is like the quote-unquote break of the deck, but it's really important because it acts as a extra extension, and it gets you into your Argostar line really effectively. So what it needs to be done is, if you control Temple of the Kings, you banish a level 10 or higher monster from hand or deck, inherent summon, and it does the same thing as Man with the Mark, where it searches a Temple of the Kings or spell trap that mentions that.
Cool.
Okay. Now, for the other stuff that Odion plays, we play 1 Temple of the Kings. I did consider playing two copies at one point, but since it did come up in my playtesting a while back, but I decided against it and just added a bit more non-engine to stop my opponent from playing the game as much as I can. So yeah, I might come back and play two, but right now it's not the right time.
Okay.
And 3 other field spells. Amazing card. It's completely custom in my opinion. So it sets your Apopus traps, and if you control 2 set cards or at least 1 trap card in graveyard, you search a monster that mentions the Temple of the Kings. So it can be all of the audio stuff.
So it's basically a search.
Yep, it searches upon searches. Well, yeah, its main weakness can be draw, but there is a way to play around it, which I'll explain in a bit.
All right.
But for now, we play 2 each of the Apopus cards. Some people play 3, but I do consider it to be too much of a brick in my deck. So best to play 2, and plus you have to keep in mind that Serpent, where if you activate this, it sets a Apopus trap directly, and you do need at least 1 in deck to have it resolved. So
I
keep that
see.
in mind. And this essentially is on summon. Every card for every other trap card you have, it becomes a non-target omni-negate. Pretty good, and it only works during main phase, so it does die too evenly.
How do you find about the ratio, like the 2-2 traps?
Oh, 2-2 trap team is pretty good. It didn't feel like I'm breaking a lot, and if I need to recycle my pieces, I just go with Last Judge.
I see.
Yeah, so it all fluently goes together. And moving on, I play 2 Argostar Glorious Adra. This card is phenomenal if used correctly. Essentially what this does is, when it's normal summoned, it has a mandatory effect where your opponent cannot respond to the effects and activation of continuous trap cards. So branded loss, and as you know what branded loss does, you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh at this point. Yeah. And also another thing to mention, this one has essentially the second effect is you can banish this for cost to place 2 Argostars trap card face up. And lastly, one thing that really makes it push above the edge is the fact that it acts as a hand trap, where during the opponent's turn, you can banish this card from hand, make one of the opponent's attack 0/0, and it's non-target. It came up in one of my matches against Horus Stun, where he had enough for lethal, but I just changed Audra to make one of the monsters 0 attack, and it saved me from getting OTK'd.
How many times did it actually came up?
Twice actually, because to make your Argostar trap cards be resolved effectively, you need to at least have one banished monster, Argostars. And this actually does come up handy.
Oh, interesting.
And then the new card from Alliance Inside, 2 Giant Slayers. This is really amazing, and this is the reason why you play Argostars. So what it does is, it's a Rota for Argostars with an added effect. If you control a face-up continuous trap card in the spell and trap zone or in the monster zone, you get 2 extra normal summon a warrior monster, which will always be Audra. And it's a quick play spell, so you can do it in your opponent's turn. Can't come off guard, you know?
Crazy.
And it did come up. I actually got to do this in the opponent's turn, and they can't respond to it. And then the rest of the Argostar engine, we play one of each. 1 Tidal, 1 Swift Campaign, 1 Slayer, a Tail. Tidal essentially is you discard a card, special summon, and search an Argostar card, anything. So what I usually do is, in your combo, you special summon, search Giant Slayer. Giant Slayer searches Audra normal summon, effect, banish, place 2, and that's literally everything you need. And for campaign, it's like the worst one, but it's still needed because if you control a face-up continuous trap card in the monster zone, special summon, and if you control a Argostar monster in banish zone, you gain 500 life points.
Oh yeah.
So that's your time card, but with the extra benefit of being a level 4 monster, which, by the way, all the Argostar monsters are level 4, so easy rank for access. We all love that. And Ateo is amazing in the grind game. So essentially, every time your opponent activates a card, you special summon this, and if you control a banished Argostar, you bounce non-target bounce any card. And every single Argostar trap card, they have the added effect where if they're in the monster zone, you can put them back in the spell trap zone.
Yep.
So infinite recursion.
No, I just got hit by this thing today.
Yep, and you can tell, pretty crazy. And for my non-engine, we start by playing the spell cards. 1 Prosp for consistency boosting, because you mostly want to search your 1 card starter, and then 1 Talent to break boards. And then moving forward, for the hand traps, we play 3 Fuolos. It forces your opponent to end in a mid-board, which is something that Odion thrives in. And then 3 Ash. Always works in every single time.
Yep.
And then this one performed phenomenally. 2 Ghost Spells. This one came up in almost every single one of my matchups. It hits Fiendsmith, it hits Mitsurugi, Malice. It does wonderful in those matches. I would not play any other way.
Would you consider playing 3 rather than 2?
Maybe I could, but I had to make some decisions to add more non-engines, and one of them is the 1 Nib.
Ah, the 1 Nib.
Yeah, it came up a few times, especially in one of my matches against Mitsurugi, where he overcommitted, and then I just dropped a nib on him, and then I got to break from there. I did consider playing 2, but I was kind of running tight on space, especially when I'm playing 43 cards. And plus, even if you don't open it, you can always just banish it with Scorpion since it's above level 10. And then 1 Lord of Heavenly Prison.
Is that your boss monster?
It is one of the boss monsters, yeah. So what it does is, while in hand, you can reveal it. It protects all your set cards.
Yep.
And then, during the opponent's turn, I believe, you... Actually, no, anyway, If you activate a trap card, you get to special summon it. But if you activate while it's revealed, you get to set any spell trap cards. It could be any of your power traps or your field spells, which will get your combo going. Anything you name, and it gets things going and helps your end board. Next up, to round it off, we play 3 Imperm because we're a trap deck.
Yeah, standard.
3 Purge.
3 Purge.
To essentially our second Ash. And one of the best cards in this deck. 3 Songs of the Dominator.
The Sons of Dominators. How many times did this card came up in the region?
A lot. Because that came up. That is part of my end board. If I go blind first. So to explain what it does, if your opponent activates a monster effect on field, you negate the effect, and if you control a trap card in graveyard, you search a dominance card. And fun fact, it does. Every time I went up against Speedsmith, I always flip this when they try to activate Engraver, not Engraver, Requiem.
Requiem.
Since it's an activation on field, and they just lose momentum from there. So that's our main deck, 43 cards, clean. Now moving on to the extra deck. We play 2 Siliped Rabbits. Very important for trap decks that summons.
Indeed.
Then we play 1 Link Spider. This is important because our Apopus monsters are vanilla monsters, so you need a way to get one more effect monsters to actually get your rabbit in, or any of your link plays like SP, SP. And to round it all off, IP. This never came up, so it's more of a flex spot in my opinion. And lastly, to round out the link line, 1 Underworld Goddess. This came up a few times where my opponent would actually make a monster that I can't beat over, so I just link away and then go from there. And that's why the Last Judge is really good, because you just have infinite resources.
I see.
Yeah. And then for the fusion, I play 2 Divine Serpents. So what this essentially needs is you need 2 Apopus monsters.
Yeah.
But you can essentially cheat this out by tributing them, like contact fusion practically. And this has a really good effect where once per turn you can target up to 3 different Apopus trap cards in the graveyard, set them directly. And once per turn, if you special summon a trap card, target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. Really good. It helps you grind games more than it should, and I wouldn't cut the ratio as it is because Unicorn is still a thing. So respect the Unicorn.
Fair enough.
And speaking of respecting Unicorn, I am playing 2 Typhons.
Typhons too.
Yep. So in in most of my matchups, 7 out of 8, I lost my die rolls. So I had to go second, and this came up every single time. So what you gotta do is normal summon Typhon, and it insulates your board from play. And plus, you don't really care about special summoning that much. You just want to grind your opponent out, slow them down, and make sure you accumulate so much resources that you beat them on the crackback. And plus, funny thing that I've noticed that I could do is if your opponent has at least 1 monster to beat over Typhon, you can always use Outer to protect it. And they just lost their only body to the Outer. So yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, run 2, especially when you're playing a control deck that doesn't rely on your extra deck that much. And then for your other ranked 4s, you play 1 Gallon Granite. This searches your block monster, which is Lord of Heaven Prison or Nibiru. That's why, like I said, 1 Nibiru is fine.
Yeah.
You can either search it or search the Heavenly Prison. And then 1 Redoer. It came up a few times. Helped me whittle down my opponent's resources a bit faster. Then 1 Baguska. if I already have the Lord of Holy Prison and all everything like that, and don't need Gallant Granite, I can just always make Baguska pass.
Pretty decent card.
Very good. And plus, I can protect it by just setting my trap cards, pretty much.
Exactly.
And then this never came up, but it's not the right time for this card anyway.
Yeah.
And Cowboy for game.
Cowboy for game. Wow, you main deck this.
Yeah, I got to actually use it in the final round against Maliss. So he didn't have enough room to recover from there. Now, move on to the side deck. You play the one-off shifter. Enough said. This is a trap deck, so shifter does nothing.
Yeah.
It does a bit, but not too much. Then the two Lancia, because we got to respect Maliss. And a couple of rogue matches doesn't get affected by Lancia, so it's always good. And then I play two of the chummies. The reason why I play two is I was following a theory where you main deck 3 Fuwa, and then on the siding, if you're going second, you just play 5, depending on what deck you're playing. If you're playing Maliss, 3 Fuwa, 2 Meows. If you're playing against Ryzeal Mitsurugi or any variant like that, 3 Fuwa, 2 Torulia, like that. Or you could play 6 with 2 each. It's never wrong.
You reckon that theory worked?
It did come up, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got to also Meows twice against Maliss in one turn. Yeah. Then we play 1 Duster, 1 Lightning Storm. That's pretty much our only breaker alongside talents. And then 2 Thrust to get into our power spells or trap cards. And then for our traps, 1 Sanctum.
Yeah, for the Lancia.
DG. 1 Imperial Iron War. FTK's Maliss. And Cristrons, if technically speaking. And then lastly, Eradicator, but this card never came up, so don't bother playing this.
That's a shame.
I thought about playing it because of Mitsurugi, but then I realized that they're just going to use prayers anyway, so there's no point in it. What I would recommend is just play the Dimensional Barrier instead.
Dimensional Barrier, yeah?
Yeah. And as for that, so let me just show you the combo on why I say Odion bridges into Argostar, and it's phenomenal in this way. It's all under a 1-card combo, which you could bridge in certain ways, which is kind of weird. It's really hard to explain, but I'll just show you how it's done. So, for the combo, you need a starter, Man on the Mark, a blank back row. So let's just say, for example, we'll just put an Infirm here, and a discard fodder. So let's go with Ghost, a random matchup. Let's say a Ghost spell. So what you do is you normal summon, activate effect to search treasures. Then treasures will set directly Scorpion. Now from here, since you don't have any trap card engraved or whatnot, you just set up the blank back row. Activate effect to search Scorpion. Let's see where it is. There you are. So Scorpion, special summon by banishing a level 10 or higher. Effect, search Temple of the Kings. Activate. Now, normally what Odion would do is that they will activate this right away, set the Swamp Deity, and then go from there. But we're gonna do something even better. So we link 2 to make the rabbit. Rabbit effect. This will bridge. This will get you into your Argostar line, and to get to there is to get Tidal. Since you have Temple of the Kings, activate Tidal, summon. You essentially discard the blank, summon, search into the Giant Slaying. You activate Giant Slaying, search Audra. As I explained before, Since you have a trap card, you normal summon extra, effect mandatory, effect banish, place 2. Now, and then from here, campaign, special, game 500. So inherently you win in time.
Yeah.
And then, since they're both level 4s, you overlay them to make either where is it? Yeah, either Granite, or if you already have the pieces you need, just make Vaguska. Granite, detach, search prison, reveal prison, pass turn. And then when your opponent tries to do something, go Serpent. Set Swamp Deity. Granite, Lord of Heavenly Prison, in fact. Set. Special. Set Songs of the Dominator. Pass. As you can see, you're ending on a rabbit that will probably spell trap card, a Omni Negate off of Serpent, a tail, a non-target bounce every time your opponent tries to do something, any kind of power trap you want, so which you can activate this turn, Songs of the Dominator, which will negate a monster effect and search Purge, and Purge can be activated from your hand, so Purge is another negate. And yeah, and you have built so much resources that you just win from there.
That's a lot of interruption you have to play through.
Yep, and in this line you can, instead of searching Songs of the Dominator, you can just search any of your trap cards like Iron Wall, which activates against Malice, DG against certain matches, and yada yada. Even the Dimensional Barrier.
That is a crazy board. Would you say this deck is weak against any particular hand trap, or is there any choke point?
Well, it's hard to say because this deck is reliant on its normal summon. So if you like Imperm or Valor, the Adra or Man with the Mark, it folds. But if you have like the specific extenders like this, like Treasures already or Scorpion with the Temple, you can still keep going. But if that's my only starter, you just Imperm it, and I have to try to set pass. But yeah, and plus, Adra lets me play under Joel, since it did come up one time where I expected myself to get Joel, so I just used Anubis to search Man with the Mark. They Joel, I normal summon Adra, and still set up a decent board. And yeah, that is my Argostar Odion deck profile.
That's pretty cool. Thank you very much, Nalin, for sharing the deck list.